Aries, stop scrolling. Stop everything you are doing right now and put both feet flat on the floor. Press your palms against your thighs. Feel that? That is your body telling you it already knows what I am about to say before your mind catches up. Because the cards are screaming at me tonight, Aries, and they are screaming one thing: you are done trading your hours for survival. You are done. There is a version of your life arriving where the money comes without the grinding, where the soft life is not a fantasy you scroll past at 2 in the morning. It is a door, and it is opening, and it is opening for you specifically in August of 2026. I need you to stay with me because the deck is laying out a timeline, a mechanism, and a name shape of the moment this lands. And if you click away now, you will miss the exact instruction your spirit cued this video for. You are not here by accident. You are here because something in you is exhausted from earning every single breath of comfort, and the cards say that season is over. Now, I need you to hear me clearly before we go deeper, because I know what your brain is doing right now. Your brain is saying, okay, another video, another person telling me what I want to hear, another voice in the algorithm feeding me hope like a crumb. And I want you to let that skepticism sit right where it is. I am not asking you to believe me yet. I am asking you to notice your body. Notice that your shoulders dropped about half an inch in the last 10 seconds. Notice that your breathing slowed. That is not me performing for you. That is your nervous system recognizing a frequency. You have been carrying a tension in your jaw, in the base of your neck, in the space between your shoulder blades. That has been there so long you forgot it was not part of your skeleton. And something in this moment is telling that tension it is allowed to soften. You do not have to trust me. You just have to trust that reaction in your own body, because that reaction is not random. That reaction is recognition. And here is what I need you to understand about why this found you tonight. You did not search for this. You did not type in a query and hunt for it. You were in the middle of something else entirely. Maybe you were lying in bed staring at the ceiling doing that terrible mental math, where you add up what you owe versus what is coming in, and the numbers never cooperate. Maybe you were washing dishes or folding laundry or sitting in a parking lot after a shift that took more from you than it gave back, and your thumb stopped here. That is not the algorithm. That is a thread. Something pulled you to this exact frame at this exact hour because there is information in this reading that is shaped like your specific exhaustion. The deck does not broadcast. The deck targets, and it targeted you, Aries, tonight, because you are the one who has been whispering to yourself in the shower, in the car, in the quiet dark before sleep, saying, I cannot keep doing this. I cannot keep being the one who holds it all together with grit and caffeine and stubbornness. And the cards heard you. I heard you through the cards. I do not know your name. I do not know your face. I have never seen your kitchen or your commute or the particular way you fold your arms when you are trying not to cry in public. I know none of that. What I know is the shape. I know the emotional signature. I know the timing. The deck reads energy, not biography, and the energy coming through for Aries in this August 2026 window is so specific, so layered, so insistent that I had to pull extra cards just to contain it. I am going to tell you what I see, and I am going to tell you when it arrives, and I am going to tell you what it looks like when it walks into your life, because the cards are not being vague tonight. They are being almost uncomfortably precise, and I need you to let that precision land without immediately building a wall around it. You have built that wall so many times. You have hoped before and been disappointed before, and the wall makes sense. But the wall is also the thing that has been keeping the soft life on the other side. Tonight we take one brick out, just one, and we see what comes through. The spread I am laying down for you tonight is called the Sovereign Ease spread, and I want you to understand why I chose it and why I almost did not. It is a 12-card spread. Aries, 12 positions, and I almost did not pull it because it is demanding in a way that most spreads are not. Most spreads ask a question and receive an answer. The Sovereign Ease spread does something different. It asks the deck to map the entire architecture of a transition, not just the destination but the hallway, the threshold, the exact quality of light that hits your face when you step through. It requires the reader to hold 12 simultaneous narratives without collapsing them into one, and it requires the querent. That is you, to be willing to sit inside a story that is still being written. I pulled it because the energy coming through for you tonight refused to be simplified. I tried a 3-card pull first. The cards scattered. I tried a 5-card arc. The deck kept pushing extras out of the stack like it was saying, no, You are not seeing the full picture. Lay them all down. So I laid them all down. 12 positions. 12 chapters of a story that ends with you not having to white-knuckle your survival anymore. Here is what each position does. And I want you to listen to the shape of this before I flip a single card, because understanding the architecture changes how the message lands. The first position is the weight you have been carrying. This card names the specific exhaustion that has been defining your days. The thing you have normalized so thoroughly you stopped calling it Painches the Second is the invisible ledger. This is the account you keep in your head, the running tally of what you have given versus what has come back, the math that never balances. The third position is the hand that reaches. This is the source, the person, the mechanism through which relief arrives, and the deck is very particular about how it shows this. The fourth is the permission slip. This card reveals what you have been waiting to be allowed to feel or receive, and who you thought had to grant that permission. The fifth is the door that was locked from the outside. This is the opportunity or shift that existed all along but was gated by something not in your control. The sixth is the sound of it opening. This is sensory. This is what you will literally notice. Hear, see, or feel in the moment the change announces itself. The seventh position is the first step into ease. This card shows what your life looks like in the first 72 hours after the news lands. The eighth is the witness. Someone sees this shift happen. Someone watches you receive it, and their reaction matters. The ninth is the old story dissolving. This is the identity you built around struggle, around being the one who always has to fight for it. And this card shows how that story loses its grip. The 10th is the proof in your hands. This is tangible. This is the document, the number, the physical evidence that it is real and not a dream. The 11th is the second morning. You wake up the day after the proof arrives, and something in your nervous system is different. This card names that difference. And the 12th, the final position, is the life that stays, not a flash, not a temporary reprieve, the structure that holds, the version of your days that becomes the new normal. That is the sovereign ease spread, 12 positions. One story, and it is your story, Aries, whether you are ready to hear it or not. I am going to read them now, every single one, and I need you to do something for me while I read. I need you to keep your feet on the floor and your hands open. Palms up on your lap. You do not have to close your eyes. You do not have to perform belief. Just keep your hands open. That is the posture of receiving, and tonight, receiving is the assignment. The first card I turn is the weight you have been carrying, and the deck gives me the 10 of Wands. I am not surprised. I am not surprised at all, Aries, because this card is the image of a figure bent forward under a bundle of sticks that they did not agree to carry all at once, but picked up one by one over months, over years, until the load became so normal they forgot they could set it down. For some of you, this weight is financial in the most literal sense. You have been covering things. You have been the bridge between someone else's emergency and their next paycheck. You have been the one who says, I will figure it out, and then you do not sleep for 3 nights figuring it out. The invisible ledger in your head has a column of debts that are not even yours, obligations you absorbed because no one else would. For others of you, the weight is professional. You are in a role, a job, a position where you are doing the work of 2 or 3 people, and the compensation does not match the output. And you keep telling yourself that if you just push a little harder, prove a little more, someone will notice and adjust it. They have not noticed. They have not adjusted. And the 10 of Wands says you are not imagining the heaviness. You are not being dramatic. The load is real, and you have been carrying it alone. And the deck wants you to hear that the carrying is almost over. Notice which one landed in your body just now. The financial covering or the professional overextension. Notice where you felt the little pull, the small tightening behind your ribs. That reaction is information. That is your body confirming which thread this reading is going to pull on hardest for you. Hold that. We are going to need it. The second card is the invisible ledger, and the deck turns over the 7 of Pentacles. This is the card of standing in a field you planted months ago, maybe years ago, staring at the soil, wondering if anything is actually growing down there where you cannot see it. You have been keeping a tally, Aries, not a written one, a felt one. Every morning you wake up and before your feet hit the floor, you are already calculating. What is owed? What is coming? Whether today will be a day where the numbers cooperate or a day where you have to make a choice about which bill gets the leftover. For some of you, this ledger is about a career investment that has not paid off yet. You went back to school, or you took the lower paying role for the experience, Or you built something from scratch, a business, a portfolio, body of work, and you have been feeding it time and energy and your own rest. And the return has been so slow, so agonizingly slow, that you have started to wonder if you made a mistake. The Seven of Pentacles says you did not make a mistake. The harvest is underground right now. You cannot see it because it has not broken the surface yet, but the root system is dense and it is spreading and it is about to push through. For others of you, the invisible ledger is relational. You have been giving in a partnership, a friendship, a family dynamic, and the return has been silence, or half effort, or gratitude without substance. You keep a running list in your chest of every time you showed up and were met with nothing. And the deck says that ledger is about to be balanced. Not by you demanding it, by something arriving that settles the account without you having to ask. That is what the Seven of Pentacles promises. The waiting is not the absence of the answer. The waiting is the answer forming. The third position is the hand that reaches, and I turn over the King of Cups. Now the energy shifts, and I need you to pay very close attention because this card is specific. The King of Cups is a person. The deck is showing me a person. This is not a vague cosmic force. This is not the universe sending abstract abundance into the ether. There is a human being attached to your relief, Aries, and the cards are insisting I describe what I see. This person carries emotional authority. They are someone who has power, who has access, who has the ability to change your material situation with decision, signature, phone call, recommendation. And they are moved to do it not because they owe you, but because they feel something genuine when they look at your situation. For some of you, this is a man, and he is connected to your professional world. A manager, a director, client, someone who has been watching your work quietly and has not said much but has been forming an opinion. The King of Cups does not announce himself loudly. He observes, he decides internally, and then one day he acts, and the act changes your trajectory. For others of you, this hand belongs to someone in your personal life. A partner, family member, someone close who has been carrying their own resources and has been waiting for the right moment to extend them. Maybe they have been waiting for you to stop refusing help. Maybe they have been waiting for the practical structure to be in place, so the help actually lands instead of evaporating. The King of Cups says the hand is already reaching. It is not a question of whether. It is a question of when, and the when is closer than your anxiety will let you believe. The fourth card is the permission slip, and the deck gives me the Two of Cups reversed. I want you to sit with that for a second because it is not what you expect. Upright, the Two of Cups is union, mutual recognition, two people seeing each other. Reversed, in this position, it is about permission you have been withholding from yourself. You have been waiting for someone to tell you it is okay to want ease. You have been waiting for someone to look at you and say, you have earned rest, you are allowed to receive, you do not have to justify comfort. And the card says that person is not coming because that person was always supposed to be you. For some of you, this shows up as a deep guilt around money. You feel guilty when you spend on yourself. You feel guilty when you rest. You feel like you have to be in a state of productive suffering to deserve a full bank account or a soft afternoon. The Two of Cups reversed says that contract is void. You never signed it. It was handed to you by a culture, family, a past experience that taught you ease was for other people, for people who did not have to fight for it. And for others of you, the permission slip is about letting someone else provide, letting a partner handle something, letting a door be open for you without immediately calculating what you owe in return. The reverse Two of Cups says, you are allowed to be on the receiving end of an exchange without immediately reaching for your side of the transaction. You are allowed to simply say thank you and let it be enough. And I need you to hear that because what is coming in the next few cards requires you to be in a posture of receiving. And if your hands are clenched around the idea that you must earn every single good thing, the good thing will slide right through your fingers. So unclench them. Right now, physically, unclench your jaw, unclench your hands. The deck is asking you to practice the posture before the moment arrives. The fifth card is the door that was locked from the outside, and the deck gives me the Eight of Swords. This is one of the most important cards in this spread, Aries, and I need you to really hear what it says, because it changes the entire narrative you have been telling yourself about why things have been stuck. The Eight of Swords shows a figure bound, blindfolded, surrounded by blades, and the traditional reading is restriction, entrapment, feeling trapped. But look closer, the bindings are loose. The blindfold can be lifted. The swords do not form a cage. They form a suggestion of a cage. The deck is telling me that the thing blocking your soft life, the thing keeping you in the grind, the thing making you feel like the door to ease is sealed shut, was never locked from the inside. You did not lock it. You did not choose this. Something external, a structure, a system, person's decision, a market condition. Timing that was not yours to control held that door closed. For some of you, this is a career gate, a position you were qualified for but were passed over, a raise that was promised and then the budget shifted, a project that was supposed to open doors and then the company restructured and the doors got bricked over. You internalized that as failure. You told yourself, maybe I am not enough, maybe I need one more certification, one more year, one more proof of worthiness. The Eight of Swords says no. The door was locked from the outside. Your hands were never the problem. The lock was external, and external locks have keys held by external people. And one of those people is the King of Cups I showed you 2 cards ago. For others of you, this lock was relational or familial. Someone in your life, knowingly or not, made it very expensive for you to prioritize yourself. A responsibility you absorbed, a guilt that was placed on you, a narrative that said if you rest, everything falls apart, and so you could not rest, could not receive, could not step into the version of your life where things come easily. The Eight of Swords says the blindfold is coming off, and when it comes off, you are going to see that the swords were never touching you. They were just close enough to make you flinch. The 6th card is the sound of it opening, and the deck turns up the Ace of Wands. I felt this one in my chest when it flipped. The Ace of Wands is pure ignition. It is the spark before the fire, the inhale before the word is spoken, the electrical snap before the light comes on. And in this position, the position of sensory announcement, it tells me that the moment your situation shifts, you are going to notice it physically before you understand it intellectually. For some of you, it is going to sound like a phone call, a specific ringtone, and you will look at the screen and something in your stomach will drop, not with fear, but with recognition, like your body knows who it is before your eyes read the name. The Ace of Wands says the sound is sudden. It does not build. It does not give you a 3-day warning. It arrives in the middle of a Tuesday afternoon when you are doing something completely ordinary, stirring pasta, walking to your car, folding a towel, and the sound cuts through the ordinary like a match strike. For others of you, the sound is not a ringtone. It is a voice. Someone walking into a room and saying a sentence that rearranges your entire week. The words will be simple. They will not be dramatic. They will be something like, I have something for you, or we need to talk about your position, or I want to take care of this. And the Ace of Wands says that in the moment you hear those words, you are going to feel heat, actual heat. In your face, in your hands, in the center of your chest. That is the wand igniting. That is the old life ending and the new one catching fire in the same breath. Do not mistake that heat for anxiety. It is not fear. It is the feeling of a locked door swinging open and the rush of air that comes through. The 7th card is the first step into ease, and the deck gives me the 4 of Cups reversed. Upright, the 4 of Cups is apathy, emotional withdrawal, staring at what you have and feeling nothing. Reversed, it is the moment you look up. The moment the fog lifts and you realize someone has been offering you a cup this entire time and you were too exhausted, too guarded, too deep in survival mode to see it. This card is your first 72 hours after the news lands, Aries, and the deck is showing me something tender. You are not going to celebrate immediately. You are not going to pop champagne and dance. You are going to go very still. You are going to sit somewhere, maybe in your car, maybe on the edge of your bed, and you are going to breathe in a way you have not breathed in months. A full breath. A breath that goes all the way to the bottom of your lungs, and then you are going to cry. Not a dramatic cry. A quiet, leaking, confused cry because your body does not know what to do with relief. It only knows how to process strain. So the relief comes and the body says, I do not have a category for this, and it converts it to tears. That is normal. That is the 4 of Cups reversed. For some of you, the first step into ease looks like saying no to something you would have previously said yes to out of obligation. A shift you do not take, a favor you do not perform, and the world does not end. For others, it looks like saying yes to something you would have previously refused because you felt you did not deserve it. A dinner someone pays for, a gift you do not immediately try to reciprocate, a soft afternoon where you do nothing and no one punishes you for it. The 4 of Cups reverse says, the cup is in your hand now. You are holding it, and you are allowed to drink. The 8th card is the Witness. and the deck gives me the Queen of Pentacles. This is someone who watches your shift happen, Aries, and their watching matters more than you realize. The Queen of Pentacles is grounded, practical, deeply observant. She is not flashy. She does not gasp or throw her hands up. She watches you receive your good news and she nods slowly, like she has been expecting it, like she saw the architecture of your relief forming before you did. For some of you, this witness is a woman in your professional orbit, a colleague, mentor, someone who has been quietly advocating for you in rooms you were not inches. She has said your name in conversations you will never hear about. She has put your work in front of eyes that needed to see it. And when the shift lands, when the offer comes, when the number changes, she will look at you across a room or through a screen and her expression will say, "Yes, finally." And that quiet confirmation will undo something in you that you did not know was still waiting to be undone. For others of you, the witness is closer to home, a partner, a mother, a sister, someone who has watched you struggle and has wanted to help but did not know how, or tried to help and you deflected it because you were not ready to be caught. The Queen of Pentacles says this person is going to see you in the moment of receiving, and they are not going to look at you with pity. They are going to look at you with pride, and I need you to let them. Do not look away. Do not minimize it. Do not say, "Oh, it is not a big deal." Let them see you receive. Let them witness the ease. You have let them witness the struggle. You owe it to them and to yourself to let them see the other side too. The ninth card is the old story dissolving, and the deck turns over the tower reversed. Now, before you flinch at the word tower, breathe, because reversed in this position, it is not destruction. It is the controlled demolition of a structure that was already condemned. The old story you have been living inside. The narrative that says you are the one who has to earn everything the hard way, the one who gets no breaks, the one for whom ease is suspicious and rest is lazy, and money only comes through suffering. That story is a building, and it has been condemned for a while. You have felt it cracking. You have felt the walls shift when you try to rest, and the guilt rushes inches. You have felt the floor tilt when someone offers you something good, and your first instinct is to find the catch. The tower reversed says the demolition is already underway. It is not going to be explosive. It is not going to be a crisis. It is going to be a slow settling, quiet crumbling. And one morning, you are going to realize you did not perform the old story that day. You did not apologize for receiving. You did not immediately earn your comfort. You just existed inside it. For some of you, the old story dissolves through career. The identity of being the hardest worker in the room, the first one in, the last one out, the one who never complains, that identity loses its grip because the new structure does not require it. You are going to be in a situation where your value is recognized without the performance of suffering, and it will feel strange at first, unfamiliar, like wearing clothes that fit properly after years of wearing things 2 sizes too small. For others of you, the old story dissolves through a relationship dynamic, the identity of being the one who holds everyone else up, who absorbs everyone else's chaos, who is needed because they are suffering and therefore indispensable. The tower reversed says you are allowed to be needed without being depleted. You are allowed to be loved without being useful. And that reframe is going to crack the foundation of the old building, and let the light inches. The 10th card is the proof in your hands, and the deck gives me the Ace of Pentacles. I had to set the deck down for a moment when this one came out because the energy of it is so solid, so undeniable, so physical. The Ace of Pentacles is not a metaphor. It is not a feeling. It is not a vibe shift. It is a thing you can hold. A document, a number on a screen, a contract, a deposit notification, a letter with a logo on it, something tangible that you can photograph, that you can show someone, that you can set on the table and say, look at this is real. This happened. For some of you, the proof is financial and immediate. A number in an account that is larger than it has been in a long time. A payment that clears. A sum that arrives that changes the math in your head, the invisible ledger from the second card. And suddenly, the column on the right is bigger than the column on the left, and you do not know what to do with your hands because they have been clenched around scarcity for so long. For others of you, the proof is a document, an offer letter, a contract, an official piece of paper with your name on it and terms that make your chest expand, something signed, something that says this is yours now, and it is not conditional, and it is not a trial period, and no one is going to take it back on a whim. The Ace of Pentacles says the proof is going to be so concrete that your anxiety cannot argue with it. You cannot gaslight yourself into thinking it is not real because you are holding it. You are looking at it, it is in your hands, and the deck wants you to know that this proof is not a small mercy. It is not crumb. It is not partial answer to keep you going. It is the full answer. It is the thing that makes the Ten of Wands. That first card, that heavy bundle, finally something you can set down because your hands need to be free to hold what is coming. The 11th card is the second morning, and the deck gives me the Nine of Cups. They call this the wish card, Aries, but I want you to forget that nickname for a moment, because in this position it is doing something more specific. The Nine of Cups is the morning after the wish lands. It is waking up, and for approximately 4 seconds before memory floods back in, feeling light, feeling like your body is not already bracing, not already calculating, not already running the ledger before your eyes are open. And then memory does flood back, and instead of the old panic, instead of the "oh no, is it real? Did I imagine it? Is it going to be taken away?" you feel a slow, warm settling. Like tea pouring into a cup. Like a hand pressing gently on the center of your sternum and saying, "Stay. It is here. You do not have to chase it today." For some of you, the second morning is the first morning you wake up and do not immediately check your phone for emergencies. No one is calling you to fix something. No one needs you to be the bridge, and the silence is not threatening. The silence is spacious. You make coffee slowly. You stand at the window. You feel the sun on your forearm, and you do not feel guilty for the slowness. For others of you, the second morning is the first morning you wake up next to someone, or in a space, or in a life where the financial pressure is not the first thought, where the conversation at the breakfast table is not about what can we not afford this week, where the air in the room is not thick with unspoken math. The Nine of Cups says that morning is coming. It is not fantasy. It is a Tuesday. It is an ordinary, unremarkable, blessedly ordinary Tuesday, where the only thing you have to solve is what you want to do with your afternoon. And your nervous system is going to feel that ordinariness as almost shocking, because it has been so long since a day asked nothing of you. The 12th and final card is the life that stays, and the deck gives me the Ten of Pentacles. I need a moment here because this is the card the entire spread has been building toward, and I do not want to rush it. The Ten of Pentacles is legacy. It is structure. It is the wealth that does not evaporate by Friday. It is the table that does not wobble. It is the house with the lights on, and the people inside it, and the knowledge, deep in the walls, that this is not temporary. This is not a good month followed by a bad month. This is not a reprieve that you will spend the whole time dreading the end of. The Ten of Pentacles is the life that stays. For some of you, this shows up as a financial structure that holds. A new income source that is consistent, reliable, not dependent on your daily performance or your ability to hustle. A position that comes with stability, with benefits, with the quiet dignity of knowing where your next month is coming from without having to claw for it. The grind does not disappear entirely, but it stops being the engine of your survival. It becomes optional. It becomes something you do from choice, not desperation. For others of you, the life that stays is a relational and domestic architecture. A partnership where the load is shared. A family dynamic where you are no longer the load-bearing wall. A home that feels like a home and not a holding pattern. The Ten of Pentacles says that what is coming is not a peak experience. It is not one good day. It is a plateau. A new floor that you stand on and that holds your weight without trembling. And the deck is very clear with me on this. This is not conditional. This is not contingent on you performing gratitude correctly or maintaining a certain vibration or being worthy enough. The Ten of Pentacles is the inheritance. It is what was always supposed to be yours. You are not earning it tonight, you are receiving it, and that distinction matters. That distinction is the whole reading. Now I need to tell you when. I need to tell you how it arrives. Because the cards have been very specific about timing and mechanism, and I am not going to be vague with you when the deck is being this precise. The window I am being shown is 2 to 4 months from this moment. You are in the middle of the corridor right now. You are not at the beginning. The beginning was the exhaustion, the grinding, the Ten of Wands that is behind you. You are in the hallway between the old door and the new one, and the hallway is shorter than you think. 2 to 4 months, the deck says no later, it could be sooner. The cards keep showing me the outer edge of that window, and then pushing it inward like they are saying, it is coming faster than they can accept. And the mechanism, the way this reaches you, is a document and a voice. An official piece of communication arrives first. An email, letter, a formal message, something with structure and authority behind it. And within days of that document, conversation follows. A human voice. Someone sitting across from you or on the phone, saying the words that make the document real, that translate the formal language into something your body can feel. You will hear fragments. In the career thread, the words will sound something like, "We want to bring you on at a level that reflects your actual value." In the financial thread, the words will sound something like, "This has been approved, and it is yours, and there is nothing you need to do to activate it." In the relational thread, the words will sound something like, "Let me handle this. You do not have to carry it anymore. I am going to take care of it." Those fragments, those are the shapes of these sentences. You will hear them, and when you hear them, your hands will go warm and your eyes will sting, and that is not weakness. That is the body finally exhaling.